is enough, and it's time for a change!
Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Let's get some love! Ooh, yeah!
With Kinny Killa.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the gal them sugar should.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold Cesaro!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is Sunday, it's episode 49, and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. And you know, I'm always kicking it with the hashtag tech guy, the Newport Knight, the goddamn sugar, Sugs.
Yo, yo, yo.
Today, people, we welcome back our compadre, our brother from another mother, all the way in the States. It's the Vicious Ranter himself, Mr. Tim Vicious.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh, that or do like Scott Hall.
Hey, yo. And we have a debut, people. We have a debut. We finally have the rated R Cardiff sarcastic superstar. And she has been the heel since day one. You know I'm talking about Roxxie.
Hi guys.
How'd you like the intro?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
you
put me over really well. Thanks.
You know how we do. We know how we do. All right. So, how you doing, Roxy? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, not too bad. It's nice to actually have some time off because I just got back from the States on Wednesday. Then I did like 3 10-hour shifts, so I'm just been chilling.
Where in the States did you go?
New Jersey.
Shopping or just family or?
My fiance's over there, so
Ooh.
yeah, he was over there for pretty much the whole month. So it was nice to be over there. It's nice to come back, but you know, be sloppy. I miss the hell out of him, but you know.
Tim, how's your weekend been, brother?
Not that bad, man. Not that bad. Wrenched my back earlier in the week, but getting there little by little. Between the doc and doing the DDP yoga, man, I'm getting back in shape.
Everyone's on that, man. Everyone's on the... Shugs, you might need some for your knee, man, that DDP yoga.
I don't think my knee is up to DDP yoga, to be honest. I'd just be falling on the floor.
How's Newport or Wales in general? I'm still underneath water, Shugs?
It's raining, man. You know, like, I went to Tesco's this morning, and, like, I'm stuck in the Tesco's Nexus. You know, there's so many Tesco's I can choose, and the one I go to I hate because I always see people in there and they always want to chat to me. And you know, I'm like, I don't really like chatting to people, so... But I had to brave it this morning so I could make my Sunday roast. But apart from actually conversing with real humans, it's been okay.
Okay, well, it was my son's second birthday over the weekend. You know, big up little Kinny Killa, Zaire.
Did you get him a United top?
Nah.
Just
he's got one.
Now. Just change it now. Like, don't put him through it. Don't put him through that support.
He's already got one, but I need to get him some new United pajamas, to be honest. That's what I'll get him. That. But now he got spoiled, man. He got a leapfrog pad and all that. Like, he just got spoiled, bro. He got enough stuff. But you know, yeah. So big up to my little boy.
My son got that tablet. He absolutely loves it, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my son got that tablet. He absolutely loves it. You're going to be in for a fun ride when he goes and asks you to help with that.
Well, after the podcast, I'm going to start loading it up with all the content. So try and get some WWE Network on there. You know how we do. All right, people. So let's just get into the show. Twitter, all you segheads out there, loads of you, just loving the love. So I can't say anymore. So it's time for the shout outs, people. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. Also, you can follow us on our email. Please email us anything. Even if you just want to cuss about Batista's nose ring, if you want to cuss about his clothes, anything, all right? The SundaySegue@gmail.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you review us on iTunes. Rate us, please. Just rate us so we know where we're at. Also, the Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, and don't forget to download that double twist player. And please download the Sunday Segue app. We have now got 2,100 downloads. It's going strong. Keep it up, people. So, time for the shout-outs. Again, sorry, people, if I can't reach all of you, but here we go. Alright, so, shout-out to Bigelow. That's at Bigelow Big. At Savage WWE. Paulina, sorry. That's at Punk Evolution 54. We got Nick Rod. That's at Rod316. We also got at Roughhouse SGW. At Team CM Punk. At WM Podcast, at Tommy McGee, and also shout out last to Kinte Carter, that's at Kinte36. So, there goes the shout outs, people. Shugs, any shout outs?
Nah, I'm good this week.
Oh, alright, Tim, shout outs?
I got 3.
Go for it.
One, I always say he's my brother from another mother, James Belmont, JX2001. Vicky _ it's V-Bitch. And last one, my homeboy Axel Mulligan on Twitter. He does these blogs on Raw, SmackDown, NXT and all. He does them. He's in his own words, he says it's basically just like when I do my rants, just in a written form.
Okay. Roxy, shout outs.
Yeah, I've just got the one because Tim kind of like nicked 2 of mine, so that's pretty cool though. Just go follow at Big Evil 93. That's my fiance. He knows more about wrestling than I do, and he's a pretty awesome guy to follow. Well, I think so anyway. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
might have to get you both on the show together. That would be interesting.
He says he wants to do it, so he was excited that I was coming on today, so he's really interested in doing it.
Oh, wicked. Tell him to holler at your boy. We'll get you two to face off on Beat the Clock. That would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Or a couple.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
So Axel Mulligan, hopefully trying to get the guy on the show. He should be on the show at some point in a couple of months. James Belmont, he was meant to be on today, but unforeseen circumstances, he can't be on today, so he will be on in the future, so don't worry about that. And it's the bitch Vicky Earl. She will be on the show again with Tim Vicious at the end of this month, March 30th episode. So watch out for that, people. Right about now, I just want to give a couple shout outs as well. Let's give a shout out to Tony Walker. His show, his podcast is going to be up soon. YouTube podcast is going to be called Wrestling Matters. Also, shout out to James Powers, our head of fan relations, and his Wrestling Rambles YouTube show. Yeah, also, obviously, don't forget to make sure you look at Vicious Rants by Tim Vicious. And The Wrestling Show by MRR. Please, everyone, make sure that you support this guy. It's a new podcast, and Sunday Segue is going to be supporting him. So make sure that you, go out there, find The Wrestling Show. That's at The Wrestling Show on Twitter, and please follow him. All right, so impressions, Roxy. Shugs, have you got your cards ready?
Always got the cards ready.
All right, so without further ado, Roxy, can you give us your best Fandango impression, please?
That's not his name. You have to breathe the air. It's fun. Done. Go.
Shugs.
That's off the chart. I'm gonna have to get a new scoring system. She went in.
She went in. That is the best one we've had. I'm sorry, that's the best one we've had.
Oh, thanks.
Go on, Roxy. Please tell us as well that your favorite current wrestler and your favorite wrestler of all time.
Well, my favorite current wrestler, I think quite a few people are aware of this at the moment. It's got to be Dean Ambrose. I love the guy. The guy, he can cut a promo. He's just just awesome wrestler, like all round. He's just a brawler. I've watched some of the indie stuff that he's done. I didn't know a lot about him before he made his debut with the Shield, to be honest, but yeah, he's awesome. The only thing that I'm a little bit upset about at the moment is that the current championship reign is a little bit stale, but he's a good wrestler. He's definitely one of my favorites. Well, my favorite at the moment. So yeah.
Okay. Your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, it's got to be Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
I mean,
there you go.
What can't the guy do? I mean, a pro wrestler is made up of many different things, and a lot of pro wrestlers fail at one thing, whether it's their gimmick is wrong, or they can't cut a promo, they can't wrestle that well, or the charisma, or they can't sell their opponent. There's nothing that Shawn Michaels couldn't do, and he's you know, there's never going to be another Shawn Michaels. I mean, alright, he was a little bit of a dick when he was younger, aren't they all? But, you know, he's just, when I was younger, I wanted to be Shawn Michaels. He was just, he's my idol. I love the guy.
There you go, heard it first. You can't go wrong with a bit of HP Shizzle. Obviously, I know, because he is my favourite wrestler of all time too. So, yeah, there you go, heard it first from Roxxie. So, let's go straight into the show. Let's go into the Elimination Chamber review, people. Did everyone watch it, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so let's just go. We're going to go through the card. Did any of you actually watch the kickoff?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Kind of, yeah.
Shugs?
Nah, mate, I don't waste my time with that ish.
All right, well, I'll take this to Tim then. Tim, Cody Rhodes went over Curtis Axel and Ryback. I didn't watch it. Or did I? I think I did actually, because Larry Hennig came out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the big thing I popped over, the fact that they brought out Larry the Axe Hennig with his 22-inch neck.
Wasn't it a bit weird though that you have Larry the Axe Hennig, which is a babyface pop moment, coming out with a heel tag team?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird, but you know, what still confuses me more than anything is the fact they're going to acknowledge Axel's wrestling name, but still won't give him the Hennig name.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's just weird, the whole Michael McGillicuddy thing. Don't even get me started on that. We'll leave that to pass. But I mean, in the match in general, what did you think of it? Because Cody does have been, on a little bit of a downhill thing at the moment. But yeah, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was a good match, and this is hands down Goldust's best run in WWE yet, and for like 43, 44, he's pulling out moves I never thought I'd ever see a guy his age do.
Okay. Shugs, Big E versus Jack Swagger opened the show. Big E is champ. I mean, this is how you showcase the IC title, isn't it? You make sure it's opening the show, and you have a decent match at least.
Yeah, well, I think it's replaced, obviously, now the World Heavyweight title, because that used to be those matches used to open the show. You know, they opened WrestleMania, they opened a few shows in a row, and hopefully it's going to raise the profile of the IC title, you know. For a few weeks, Big E wasn't doing anything, and I think they realized, oh shit, we need to raise this up if it's going to be the number 2 title in the company. And I think they started to put a bit more emphasis on there at the moment. Mm-hmm. I think Big E looked alright, but I think he's a bit too careless, you know. Mm-hmm. People seem to get fucked up every time they fight him.
Yeah, nah, true. I mean, he did some next stuff. I mean, he did Insecurity, which I did not see that coming at all. But you're right, though. Some of his moves are quite, they can be quite careless. He just needs to kind of tighten that up a bit, which I think he can. He's got time to. But were you surprised that they went 12 minutes?
Well, if you look at, there wasn't many matches on the card, so they had the time, really, you know?
Okay. All right, Roxxie, New Age Outlaws defeated the Usos. Was that a surprise to you? Did you think the Usos were going to take it down?
No, I mean, I think, the Usos have been in the background for quite some time. You got to hand it to them. I mean, there's no tag team, I believe, that works harder than the Usos. I mean, I've watched them a couple of times when I went to go and watch them live, and I think over the course of 2 days of Raw and Smackdown tapings, I think I must have seen them about 5 times wrestle. And I believe at the moment they're kind of I'd say they're a mid-card, but they're kind of top mid-card. They're kind of breaking through right now. I don't understand why the New Age Outlaws have got the tag team titles. I don't know whether it's just me. It just seems a little bit redundant to drop the titles to someone that, hasn't really been in the WWE for a while, and then, the Usos. But I believe that they're going to be building up to quite a good feud, so nothing against the New Age Outlaws, I'm glad they're tag team champions again, but seems a little bit of a weird thing.
I've got plenty against those old bastards.
Yeah, man, I could say a lot.
Yeah.
I could say a lot. I
You
mean,
go off all day on that.
Bingers might not be happy, but sorry, bro. But Billy Gunn, man, he needs to just go away with them saggy pecs and his.
Bingers can big him up on his own show, but on this show, we're going in. On the peroxide pushback.
Oh, that's the one. Peroxide pushback. All right, Tim. Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. Piss break.
Boo! Boo this man! Boo! Honestly, all I can say is, you know you're in a world of shit when Del Rio is more over in the match than you.
Oh, shit.
That is on how bad. That I swear, I think that's on how much heat you could tell Batista has. I mean, I walked into that match with very low expectations, and the fact that, you know, the part that I popped over the most was when Del Rio beat him up with a crutch, was it.
You jumped a match.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And then after that, I was just like, eh.
Oh, good. I did ask you about Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, but it's alright. It's alright. We could go into Batista Del Rio. Batista Del.
I'm sorry.
Nah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Batista Del Rio, right? Now, obviously, we are hating on Batista, right? This guy. Don't even get me started on this guy, please. Not right at the beginning of the show, because I got something.
Right, wait there. So, are we saying, right? Is it X-Pac heat, or is it boo this guy? We want Daniel Bryan heat? Because me and you had this combo in the week.
Yeah. I think it's weird. It started off as Daniel Bryan, we want Daniel Bryan thing. But I think as time has gone on, people are starting to kind of realize that this guy, right, when he comes up with stuff like, I love this business. This guy, I can't stand him. I don't like the way people just, you know, they're coming in for the cash, and they're not spending any time, you know.
Right, wait there. I want to read a quote, yeah?
Yeah.
So, heat is a term used in professional wrestling to describe any reaction to a wrestler and his gimmick/character. Face and heel heat can make or break a character, while they're not getting any heat is the kiss of death in the industry. Then, there's X-Pac heat. This is when the audience boos and insults the wrestler, not because they hate the character, but because they hate the performer.
X-Pac heat.
X-Pac heat. Yeah.
Definitely.
So we're hating the performer. We're not hating Batista the wrestler. We're hating Dave fucking Batista the performer for being on our TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wasn't excited when I heard he was coming back. I wasn't excited.
I was half excited, but that's only because I liked him as a kid, and now I know better. It was just like, hey, and then it was just like, fucking hell, Pitbull looks a little bit different. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
But
It just looked like Jersey Shore reject. I was like, fuck. Come on.
But his last run when he left was the best run he had. He left like basically at the top, you know. When he was doing that real, like, I'm better than everyone, and he had, like, the Hollywood gimmick, a bit like The Rock when he came back, and he came back as a heel, you know, and used to have the spotlight on him. Yeah. I really liked him then. He was getting more interesting, and then he decided to leave. And then when he come back, the ratings were, like, through the roof. They're the biggest ratings they've had in, like, a long, long time.
Yeah, but it's going to be like that for when everyone comes back. It's going to be like that on that show, but then after, it proves after, you know what I mean? After that day, that was it. After that day, even on the Rumble, obviously the Rumble was the whole Daniel Bryan thing, but even after that, like, they've stopped they still chant Daniel Bryan, but there's more saying Batista now. They're directing it at him, like, they're actually directing the stuff at him now. It's no longer just about Daniel Bryan, it's about Batista. Like, it is about Batista. And listen, this guy, right, is so tight. They had an 8-minute match, Shugs. And this guy was blowing. This guy was blowing.
I don't think he's been doing much cardio, to be honest, you know.
What the hell's he been doing then?
Shopping, mate. Shopping. That's it.
They need to send him back down to developmental so that way he can get more gas in the tank.
Maybe he needs to be on NXT. Best of 3 falls with Sami Zayn and Batista.
Listen, he can't run with Sami Zayn. He can't roll with that dude, man. Anyway, let's just move on from this.
He couldn't roll with Bo Dallas, bro.
Oh, damn.
Oh, snap. That's what I'm saying.
All I want to say in regards to Batista is if Emma can get a better than Batista champ for a powerbomb, what the hell does that tell you?
There you go.
That's all I'm going to leave it at.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, let's just we won't talk about Titus O'Neil and Darren Young because that was just like Clash of the Titus though. I like that move. Sky High, old school D'Lo Brown, loving that. But let's go, Shugs, into the Wyatt family against the Shield, because I know for a fact that you absolutely lost your shit when you watched that.
Yeah, I just, I thought that this was like, perfect, like, pro wrestling, Not even sports entertainment, perfect pro wrestling. They built it well, and then we were ready just to see them, because, like the crowd was like, this is awesome, before they'd even started the match. Because they just wanted to see it. Everyone was just waiting to see what the fuck was going to happen, Who was going to win, what was going to happen, and I just thought it was just like the pace was great, like the spots were great, the finish was brilliant. It's just a perfect match, perfect match.
The storytelling was out of this world. I mean,
and this is what pisses you off more, because if they can do this with the Shield and the Wyatts, then why do we get all the rest of the bullshit? Because it's the same. Yeah. It's the same writing team. It's the same bookers, And then the same people are getting the Miz to come down to ringside and be like, "This is bullshit," and then walk off and be like, "Yeah, no one cares. Fuck off."
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Miz, just go home and complain to your Playboy model wife. It's not like you had issues or anything.
You just got married, dog. Just sit down, man. Just rest yourself. Just go on honeymoon.
Just go home, innit, to your gal. Like, why care? Why would you care about wrestling? If that's your gal, just go home.
Oh, she's gonna speak a bit of French in your ear. You're all good. You're happy.
Have you started?
All right, let's we'll just say we had an impromptu match. It was Cameron against AJ for the title. Bullshit, Tamina, disqualification, whatever. Big Mummy Cool had to go in there and just disturb the peace. But let's just go into the final match, the main event. It was Randy Orton, John Cena, Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Christian in the Elimination Chamber, Roxxie. How did you think this match went, and was you surprised that Sheamus got eliminated first and not Christian?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Sheamus got eliminated first. I mean, if I'm gonna just call the match as it is, I don't know, when Sheamus came back, I thought that obviously he would have lasted a little bit longer. I think it's fair to say that we all know the real reason why Christian was in there was because obviously there's an absent wrestler at the moment who was supposed to be in there, so they just chucked Christian in for good measure. But to be fair, I think as a pay-per-view as a whole and the actual chamber match, I pretty much called everything. I don't know whether you thought it was predictable, but for all those Daniel Bryan fans out there who thought that he was going to go in and walk out the champion, I'm sorry, but it was quite obvious that it was going to be Orton. They're going to give him quite a big title reign, and I think he'll probably win at WrestleMania, but, I mean, I was behind Cesaro the whole way. He's come up a lot in my estimation. I didn't really rate him when he first came in. I knew he wasn't going to win, though, because the WWE are hell-bent on, wrecking everything for us, apart from the Shield and the Wyatts. But, yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised with the outcome, but the fans went crazy. The fans sold the pay-per-view to me. I mean, did you hear that reaction? I was just like,
I know. The end, when Orton won, at the end, the faces on the crowd.
That was so joke when they were filming people and they were just like, what? It was like somebody came in and pissed on a Christmas tree. They were just like, no, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
The crowd during that match did the best chant of the night when Randy Orton wound up running back into his pod and they did pussy, pussy, pussy. That was the best chant of the night. Thank you, Minneapolis, for showing that you cannot be PG.
And then they botched the bro kick into the screen thing. I was like, you bloody bro kicked it. It didn't do nothing, so you have to slap it down. And then Orton still sold the bro kick. It just looked a little bit, but we had a load of spots in there. Christian doing the frog splash off the top of the pod. Cesaro just going absolutely fucking. We'll get into Cesaro later on in Raw. Going ape shit. Cena, whatever, and Orton again, whatever. But You know, again, like you said, Roxxie, the pay-per-view was predictable. So right about now, can I just have, Roxxie, your highlight of the night, please?
Highlight of the night for me, hands down, Wyatt versus Shield. And to be honest, I think I probably speak for everybody. For those who actually tuned into the Elimination Chamber, that was the match that you wanted to see. It was just everything from start to finish. It was good build-up from when they first fronted each other in the ring back in November. It's been simmering for a while, and like Shug said, it was just so well laid out. The spots were good. The wrestling was good. It was like proper pro wrestling at its best. Can't fault it.
Tim, highlight of the night.
Again, Shield and Wyatt match, man. Definitely, that was. I've always been a fan of slow burns for build-ups for matches, and that did not disappoint one bit. You had basically. I haven't seen tension build up for anything like that since when they first had the Tyson and Austin thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shugs, highlight of the night.
Yeah, the same. The Elimination Chamber match wasn't bad, but the pay-per-view was all about seeing what was going to happen with the Wyatts against the Shield. Because they kept us waiting for all this time. So it's something we haven't seen before. Although now it looks like we're going to get to see it every single week until WrestleMania. This was the first time, and this was probably always going to be the best time,
Mm-hmm.
Unless they try and up the ante and they have a fucking TLC match or something like that. Then I'll just lose my shit again.
Wow, that would be awesome.
I'm waiting for a Kennel from Hell match between them.
Boss man against El Snow. Oh, good. All right.
R.I.P. Pepper.
Yeah. Tim, give me your disappointment of the night, please.
The AJ and Cameron match. The only good part on that was when AJ did that little ass dance. I just felt the need to start throwing ones at the TV when she did that.
Roxxie, your disappointment of the night?
Yeah, same for me as well. The AJ versus Cameron match. It was just it just came out of nowhere, and it was kind of like, oh well, we've got a bit of extra, space now before these, and we need to fill it up, and people need to go and take a piss, so let's just chuck some random ass shit match in there, and get AJ to keep the title by DQ. But I was just boring.
Shugs, is that your, you're gonna join that?
Nah, my disappointment of the night, apart from Cameron's weave, is the Titus O'Neil match. I want Titus to do well. I'm not worried about Mr. No Days Off Darren Young. He can take as many days off as he fucking wants. But I want Titus to do well. And Vince McMahon has told him to let him go and let him do his thing, and he's getting the TV time. But because what else are we left with? Fucking Xavier Woods. He's the representative of the African American community, Xavier Woods. And Biggie's just too wet for me. I want someone to go in and just be like a fucking hood man and just be like, fuck you.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Booker T.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan, we're coming for
you. We're coming for you. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, straight to Harlem. Alright, can you guys collectively come together and agree a pay-per-view MVP for me, please?
I'm gonna say Seth Rollins. I thought Seth Rollins was the best in the chamber.
This guy is fucking out of this world. You know what?
Yeah.
Just carry on, guys. Sorry.
I just think he's a sleeper. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those. He's one of the people. The people see Ambrose as the leader, and then Roman Reigns has come through as pushing as a big baby face. But the one who's been spent the most time in the ring, the one who's been doing the shit, the one who's been getting better, is Seth Rollins.
He is the best wrestler in the Shield, hands down.
Yeah, definitely Seth Rollins. Especially with that little series of moves he did partway in the match, that backflip and then tossing Rowan out, and then the suicide dive and landing on his fucking feet.
That suicide dive was fucking crazy. He sat on his head, didn't he? Sat on his head.
And he flew, he arched his back and then did a somersault, and it's just crazy, man. This guy's
He's part fucking ninja, that's what it is.
So we saying Seth Rollins then, yeah?
I'm saying Seth Rollins, but
I mean, I agree. Seth Rollins was like, yeah, he was really good in the pay-per-view. For me, though, personally, it was Cesaro. I mean, I think that he really showcased what he could do, and he actually proved that he could be up there with the big boys. And he came over really well. But you know, that's just my opinion.
Tim, you got the deciding vote, my friend.
Oh, fuck. You gotta put that kind of weight on me. Rox, I love you and all, but I still gotta go with Seth, man, because he wound up showing, like, what he can really do, you know? And aside from that, I was watching Seth back in the day when he was still wearing guy liner and ROH.
Tyler Black.
Last gift from God.
Okay, so it is Seth Rollins. He takes it down. Shugs, predictions. Who took it down?
I think there was a tie actually between you and, because I fucking done some shit. I chose Rybaxel for some reason. So it was a tie between you and M Cook. The M Cook. You both got all of them right. You both got 100% predictions right.
See what I'm saying, Michael? Michael. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We took it down, dog. We took it down. All right. Let's go to Raw. Monumental Raw, you know. Hogan and all that. We heard talks of Brock Lesnar being there, Taker, blah, blah, blah. But let's go into it. Segment 1, Roxxie, Hulk returns. Hogan walks out. Crowd lose their shit. What was your view on Hogan's return?
Well, I mean, like, I didn't actually watch it live. I was somewhere over the Atlantic at the time, but I've caught up with bits and pieces of it during the week. So I did watch the Hogan promo. I thought that the pop for him would have been a lot bigger than what it was. I was quite, like, dumbfounded that when he was doing, you know, the whole move where, he, you know, he's just, like, there with the ear and everything. I thought that the crowd reaction would have been a lot bigger. It sounded like he was gibbering on to me, if I'm going to be quite honest. Like, he didn't really know what was going on. He botched the first bit where he was like, what are you going to do when the WWE Universe runs wild? And it was like, it already is, Hulk. You know, what's going on, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, I was happy as soon as I saw him. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those things, like, as a kid, I loved him. Same thing with Batista. Like, I was just like, yeah, this is great. And then I was like, that's deflated quite quickly. But the good thing is that if they play their cards right with the WWE, when they brought The Rock back the first time when he hosted, we didn't actually see The Rock then until WrestleMania. Yeah. So I'm hoping now we don't see Hogan until WrestleMania.
Well, nah,
so that's what I thought of it anyway.
The thing is, The Rock is a busy guy, and Hogan ain't got shit to do, so we're going to see this guy every week. Of course.
If he's not running around trying to stop Gorka from releasing his shit, he is going to be on Raw probably every bloody week until WrestleMania, hyping his shit. Yeah. Tim, what other capacity do you see Hogan like in the WWE? Because I'm hearing talks of him maybe being a general manager on Raw.
I was actually just going to say the same thing. I think that can kind of work if they do it right, you know? I mean, if they book it to where he's the face and Hunter and Steph are the heels and them two are constantly, and they're fighting back and forth saying this is my show, well, it's my company kind of shit. You know, I think that can work good for them. Just keep the amount of time that you keep Hogan on screen down to a minimum, because that's where TNA really screwed up when they had him.
Yeah. I don't want...
that 7 minutes that they had him for the opening of the show was just enough that we needed.
I don't want him, like, in every segment. If that does happen, I don't want him in every segment, like, saying to Triple H, like, don't take that tone with me, brother. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see him hiding his balding head, like, every week. You know what I mean? Like, that he's done for the last how long? Like, I just keep it, like you said, at a minimum. That would be great. Shugs, Hogan, like, just, like, botched up that one bit when he said, the launch of the WWE Universe.
But, like they were saying, that, I think it was like John Pollock was saying that even though he botched it, he made a recovery. So he'd done the exact same actions, the same motions, and said the right thing. So he's still a pro, like, he still knows what he's doing. So then they're just going to cut his mistake and just cut in the bit where he got it right, you know? Mm-hmm. So at least he wasn't there floundering, like, you know, and stumbling over his words, he just went straight back around and just went straight through, done it again, and got it right. You know?
AKA
but,
Mike Adamley.
Yeah, he's been on, Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey.
He's been on TV for like fucking 40 years. Do you know what I mean? This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, indeed. Alright, well, let's go on to segment 2, which was Del Rio versus Batista. Shugs, we already have to see this pile of perro shit, right, on the pay-per-view. Why the hell are we seeing this monkey-ass shit again? The crowd shot all over this shit.
Well, maybe they just they needed some way of getting some Batista-Orton interaction. So this was what the match was there for. They couldn't have him fight somebody else, so they just fucking rolled out fucking Del Rio again, I suppose. It was bullshit. Who wants to see it? Nobody.
Orton comes out, Roxxie, and he distracts Batista, makes Del Rio win with a roll-up, and then Orton tells the fans, he tells Batista that the fans hate him. Batista says he loves this business. Do you feel sorry for Batista, or do you think he actually loves this, and do you think he actually loves this business?
To be honest with you, Kenny, right, if he loved the business, he wouldn't have fucked off to MMA. And the only reason why he's back is because he didn't make it in MMA. And the fact that the crowd seems to be getting a lot rowdier week by week now because, obviously, Mr. Brooks is missing. And, the fact that, Randy came out and he mocked Dave for being booed. The crowd interact and, just shout out CM Punk chants. They didn't cheer for Orton. It was just like, fuck this shit, we want CM Punk, because, to be honest with you, the Randy Orton and Batista feud that it seems to be building, it just seems like a shit main event, if I'm going to be fair. Nobody wants to see it, I don't think. Well, apart from, teenage girls who love Randy Orton. But,
and Batista who loves teenage girls.
Yeah, Batista's being very Cena about it, if I'm going to be honest. It's just shit.
Yeah, Tim, I was gonna come to you, Tim. Sorry, carry on.
I'm just waiting for when the voices in Randy's head finally tell him to put on a pair of sweatpants when he comes out to the ring to do a promo. Because in all honesty, who else besides me is getting sick and tired of seeing him walk out in his trunks and a t-shirt like he just got done spending 3 hours in bed. If you're doing
all them squats and hitting the gym like this guy, you're just going to be walking around in those tight pants all day long. If I
He's just trying to prove he hasn't missed leg day.
Yeah, I'd be wearing a thong bikini, bro, if I was.
Trust me, man, you don't want that. The wedgies are ungodly. I'm not saying much. All I'm saying is never do a bet on Super Bowl.
All right, let's move to segment. Sorry.
On this match, Kenny, I just think it's interesting how you can always tell which way the company's going through the commentary team, because we know they always got Vince or Triple H in their ear giving them the shit, and it was interesting how they were talking about Batista getting booed, and they were talking about the fans being upset that Batista is in the spot and he's the #1 contender, So you can always tell that, because sometimes they'll ignore him, you can tell when the crowd, you got the biggest chant going on ever, and the commentary team saying nothing about it. But this time they were commenting on the boos, and actually what was going on in the crowd. So we must be heading towards something.
Well, in the middle of bloody Raw, we got King going, "Aha! Smackdown Batista's gonna say what he wants." I'm just like, what's that all about? He's gonna tell the fans exactly what he thinks of them.
Fuck that shit.
What the we don't watch SmackDown anyway.
Your old girlfriend's calling you.
we don't watch SmackDown anyway. And they're gonna probably pipe in some kind of book. Shugs will tell us later anyway. But let's go into segment 3, which was Big E versus Cesaro. Tim, what did you think of this match?
I absolutely loved it. Big E, he moves, for a guy his size, he moves around like he's maybe 20 or 30 pounds lighter. And Cesaro, he's definitely been showing that he can hang with the boys and, put on a phenomenal match. I haven't seen him do a bad match pretty much since he started coming on the scene.
Mm-hmm. Roxxie, Swagger comes out and causes the DQ. Obviously, with the split Swagger coming around the corner, like, is now the time for WWE to push Cesaro into a main eventer?
I think so. I mean, like I said, the Elimination Chamber clearly proved that he could be up there with the best, and But the question for me is, like, I mean, is the whole thing with Big E going to be a feud, or are they going to push him on to go with somebody else? All I know is that there are big things coming this year for Cesaro, but I'm not sure what. But like you said, split is imminent. It just seems to me like, Cesaro seems to be making his way into the top quite quickly. But, I just hope that they don't do the same thing that they did with Ziggler. Like, they had him up there 1 minute. I mean, alright, I know he said some shit, but he was down there again the second. I just don't want them to drop the ball with Cesaro.
Yeah, I know the why. Cesaro, obviously, keeps doing what he keeps doing time and time again, just like, showing, how good he is, how versatile he is, his ring psychology in the ring. If his mic skills, were better, like, is it safe to say that he would actually be, like, a main eventer right now?
I think Cesaro's mic skills are fine, because when he had the US title run, and that's a while ago, when he was going around to the different monuments and doing different stuff like that, I thought he was fine. I just don't think he gets the mic time,
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably because they weren't thinking of pushing him until, he's basically got himself over, really, He spent a lot of time on NXT as well. He doesn't mind going back down and, fighting and doing all this stuff.
It's because he gets the more ring time, more mic time there. Like, he gets a lot of mic time down in NXT.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just think that he is, I think he's fine. I think if they give him the mic time, that he'll be fine. But I still think he'll be better as a heel than a face.
Yeah, so do I.
But, you get over there wherever you get over. You go with what you got, don't you?
Yeah.
The big swing's got him over.
Mm-hmm. Do you reckon he goes to Mania? He makes it to Mania?
I think it'll be the Swagger match at Mania.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's going to be Cody against Goldust, so I think it'll be Swagger against Cesaro.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see Zeb Coulter getting swung. Alright, segment 4, we had Cena and the Wyatts. Roxxie, Cena comes out, starts spitting his normal shit, dead out promo, and Wyatts hit the ring. How good was this promo on Cena? Started laying into him, calling him a liar. Like, how good was that promo?
Well, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't actually catch the end of it. I mean, to be honest with you, as soon as Cena came out, it was kind of like, typical Cena style, kissing the ass of the company, no surprise there. Then he mentioned Green Bay, he went for a cheap pop, I mean, to be quite honest with you, when, I dislike John Cena that much, I usually go for a bathroom break, which is pretty much what I did, to be fair. As soon as he comes on TV, I'm just like, this guy is so fucking boring, it's time to go for a cigarette. So, I didn't watch all of it, but,
Oh, no, that's understandable. John Cena can get the best of you at all times. But, Shugs Wyatt attacked Cena, he looked like he injured himself. And then he comes out, and then we find out it's a work. What was the point of this, being a work? I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either. Maybe they wanted, I don't know, because even when they were doing it, they looked worried, You can tell when somebody's got a work injury, and you can tell when somebody, gets genuinely injured, but they look worried. You know what I mean? The way, they backed off and the way they changed the finish so he didn't get a Sister Abigail, he just got that flying fucking hillbilly or whatever you call it. I just thought it was a good work anyway.
Yeah, no, it was a good work. I just didn't understand why it was needed or what are they trying to sell.
Well, we won't know really until Raw, will we, next week, how they go with the angle and say, that the Wyatts injured Cena or whatever.
Yeah. Tim, who do you think will carry this feud and build up into WrestleMania? Who do you think will carry it better? Who do we need to carry it better?
Obviously, Bray. I mean, Bray in so many ways reminds me of Jake Roberts on the way he cuts the promos, because he'll just, instead of just screaming and yelling, saying, "Oh, now, that Sunday, he's gonna kick your ass," and all that kind of normal shit that, you know, everyone walks out, grabs soda, and comes back, and they still hear him doing. You know, Bray, he'll sit there, talk soft, low, and quiet, so that way you pull into your TV and you're like, what the hell is he saying? And the facial expressions he has with it just wind up selling everything altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
it reminds me of Jake Roberts so much. That's why I absolutely love seeing Bray on the mic.
And he kind of he relates to the fans in terms of them wanting to hear what he has to say. You know. Sorry, Roxxie, carry on.
I was going to say the fact that he writes his own material as well is another plus. The fact that, you know, WWE aren't spoon-feeding him in things to say. The fact that he actually sits down, takes the time to actually, you know, go away and become the character, practice, write his own material, I think is brilliant. I haven't seen anyone cut a promo that good for quite a few years, so...
Yeah, I don't think it would work if WWE wrote him stuff, because they'll be writing in some bullshit, so... Yeah. Alright, let's go into segment 5. Christian versus Sheamus. Shugs, you get the breakup of About Time.
I know, mate. About Time. That was one of our favourite tag teams. I don't know. Maybe it's the Christian has been using Sheamus's hair dye to rub on his body, because he seems to be getting fucking oranger by the week. Yeah, maybe that's what has caused it. So I don't know. Mate, they're trying to do something with Christian, so that's good. They're actually trying to do something with him, but. Christian versus Sheamus at WrestleMania, like, who gives a fuck?
Especially when we just seen this shit on Raw. Like, Christian, he did a really good promo before the Elimination Chamber, you know, speaking in the back, that was good. I did like the finish though, Tim. What was it? It was a bro kick off the top rope?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. You know, but it was a good finish, and I constantly rip on Sheamus. I call him Sheamus all the time. You know, but in all honesty, I just rip on him because I can't stand the face character he's got. You know, they play him like as one of those stereotype Irish, yeah, I'm going to go for a fight, and then I'm going to go and down a pint. No, fuck that.
He's like an Irish Barney the dinosaur, isn't he?
Yes.
Just like, what?
Oh, God, this guy. We need to see him heal.
Bring back King Sheamus.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Tim, I hear feedback coming from you, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's gone now. It's gone. All right. So, Roxxie, do you prefer Christian as a heel? Yeah. Do you prefer Christian as a heel?
Oh, I'm a heel girl. I prefer everyone as a heel. But, yeah, I do prefer Christian as a heel. Like, I remember when he did his gimmick, a good few years ago now, and he was, like, whining that, you know, he wasn't getting a chance and stuff like that. I like the fact that he's kind of, like, half gone back to that character, but without the whining. I mean, yeah, I do prefer him heel. I prefer Sheamus heel as well, to be fair, but Sheamus, I can give or take Sheamus, to be fair. I don't really get him, to be fair, and one thing that I didn't understand at the end of this match that, like, I seen, is the fact that the commentators went wild for the match. And I thought, personally, it was just simply shit. I was just like, is it really that good? Am I missing a trick here? You know? Where it's just like...
I love it. It's just simply shit.
Yeah, it was.
And why, if Christian is a heel, why is he still clapping? Why is he still clapping? I don't understand. You're clapping for the fans. Why are you still clapping, bruv? Stop it. just stop it, like. And next minute we're gonna get this guy whining even more, like, just one more match.
Oh God, yeah.
Just one more, please. Just one more hedge. One more.
Pretty good impression.
I think the reason he does the clap is because he knows he can't do the psych up thing Edge always did in the corner, so he needs his own thing. You know, he needs to do his own thing to try and psych up. So, hey, I'm going to clap for myself like Michael Jackson always told me to.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson did before.
Hedge, you're going for my one last match. Pass the t-shirt, Hedge. Pass the shirt. Come on. All right. And that's enough of that. Let's go on to segment 6. Bryan versus Corporate Kane. Shugs' favourite guy, Corporate Kane, with his wife beater.
This guy, Strongbow Kane, that's what I call him, Strongbow Kane, because that's all he needs is a can of fucking cider. Just his fucking trousers and a can of cider, and then just go home for some fucking domestic violence. That's what he just looks like. Guy is fuck.
He looks like someone.
Looks like a dude. He looks like one of the dudes that get arrested on the show Cops.
He just lost his job.
It just comes. We just had to report domestic violence at fucking Cedar Grove, and he would come and he's just steaming drunk, and he's like, "Fuck this bitch, man," and then you just got Kane. That's who comes out.
Just pyro up your house.
The Louise version of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You get him and he just throws his hands down and the fucking trash can, the fucking flames come out of the trash can in the corner. It'd be fucking great.
Tim, earlier we got a challenge by Daniel Bryan on Triple H. How important was this segment to start a build for obviously a Mania match? And the negative tones as well by Triple H talking about you can't be serious. You WrestleMania, like how important was that?
I'm completely fucking livid over the fact that they're building up a match between Bryan and Triple H at Mania. I personally think a match between Bryan and Kane at Mania would be a lot better, but the reason why I'm mad over that is because all they basically did was just take CM Punk out of that storyline and put Daniel Bryan in, which just clearly shows creative has no fucking clue what they're doing, and all their stories are pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah, it's a bit stupid though, because Bryan was the person that should have been in that position in the first place, not CM Punk, because it all started from SummerSlam, which is a bit weird. Listen, if this started like they used to back in the day, when they start that shit from SummerSlam, let it roll over to Survivor Series, then Royal Rumble, and then Mania, this feud would be sick. Like, Triple H constantly stopping Bryan, constantly stopping him from winning the title. This should have been this match from day one anyway. But I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying, because I can't understand why. Well, this is what I was just going to ask Roxxie, like about Kane's involvement. I don't understand why this feud needs Kane. Like, I don't understand why it needs Kane.
I don't know. I mean, I thought the whole Daniel Bryan Kane feud thing was done with, but for some reason they've chosen to revisit it again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan anyway, unfortunately. Like, a lot of people get upset about that, but you know.
Squeeze me.
But he is a good wrestler. Like, sorry, if I tread on some toes already.
Squeeze me, baking powder. You're not a Daniel Bryan fan.
No, I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan.
Not like the American Dragon.
What don't you like about Daniel Bryan?
Well, I hate the yes gimmick. That does my nut in. The yes chants just get to me anyway. I basically think that, this is going to sound really horrible, I think he's a John Cena who can wrestle. That's just me. I just don't, I might be like seriously missing something. I just don't understand why he's so over.
We're good for like 56 minutes and then we get this, man. What the hell?
Nah, Roxy, you're entitled to your own opinion, girl. But yeah, I mean, not everyone does like Daniel Bryan. But it is what it is.
I can see why. Mm-hmm. It's like he's the underdog, but I don't know. I just don't like his character.
And that ends that segment. All right, let's go on to segment 7. Summer Rae versus Emma. Shugs again, right off the top. Just play my motherfucking music, please. Right. Oh my god. I'm watching this match, right, and I'm thinking to myself, Emma's coming out to this theme song, right, that no one has heard, right, except for when she's dancing, okay? They have a Titantron of her just dancing. Last week, you showed us a video package of her wrestling in NXT. What are you doing? She comes out with Santino, I gotta love you, but you just gotta stay away from Emma, because this girl don't need you. She don't need you. She can wrestle. She's coming in. She's getting her ass handed to, right, by Summer Rae for some reason. She got one hell of a roundhouse kick in the face. And then you give us the best part right at the end. You make her you give us the Emma lock, which is a delight. But why only give us that end bit? You know, why only give it? You've screwed us out of someone that could be really good for the Divas division straight off the bat. She's got Xavier Woods treatment. Why? She don't deserve that. Like I said before, do that to Alex Rusev. Do that to, bloody Xavier Woods. But don't do it to Emma because she's better than that. As we saw on NXT Arrival. Boom. Right. Roxxie. Like I said, Emma comes up with Fandango. Do you think she needs him or not? Do you think she can go it alone?
Personally, I think she's still in that kind of stage where she does need to come out with somebody. She's a really good wrestler. I just don't get the gimmick. Like exactly like what you just said. I feel the same way. I just don't understand the whole dancing thing to this piece of fucking dance music I've never even heard of.
Okay, rewind. I did not say that. I love the music.
Sorry.
That is a jam. That
is the.
I don't get it. I just.
Do you watch NXT? Yeah.
I caught this week's NXT where Emma was against Paige.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome match, by the way. That Paige move. That's all I'm thinking about with the Divas division at the moment. Like, AJ's just had like this massive title reign. All I'm thinking of is Paige.
Yeah, I know. I think because we've been watching NXT like from FCW, like, and when she came in and just the little interaction she has with Renee Young, just she's funny. She is funny, and they've made her connect to the fans with the dance and with the whole. They made her skin. I don't understand. They made her skin the cat. They don't know what that is. The crowd don't know what that is. You haven't given them the information. You haven't let them know what that is. You know, you just make JBL come out and go, oh, Michael, she's trying to skin the cat. She does that down in NXT. Like, no one knows that shit. You're expecting everyone to know that, and you're expecting everyone to watch NXT, sorry, and not everyone does, you know? Like, not everyone gets it free like us.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the whole Big E and the 5-tap pin. Like, nobody understood that when he came out and did it at a live show. Everyone was like, why is he holding down for 5 counts? Like, nobody understood that, you know?
That was so over in NXT as well.
Yeah.
Shugs, no yoga pants today, but, you know.
You can't have it all, can you?
I know. Do you think she can still get over though, but at a slower rate? You know, because of obviously how they built her so far.
I think it's going to take a lot of work to get her over. Like, you know, the way they introduced her wasn't very good, you know. And now they tried with the video package. They tried a few other things to redeem themselves and make up for this fucked up shit they did. But I don't know how they're going to fix it.
I don't know. Alright, well, let's go to segment 8. New Age Outlaws versus Usos. Tim, what was the point in this match?
I'm sorry. I fell asleep. Was there a match going on?
Exactly. It lasted all of 2 seconds. The stupidest thing, right? Just give me your take on this. Why book the Usos to stop a babyface moment and get booed?
I have no idea. And, you know, I spent most of my time when I was wrestling as a tag team guy, so seeing the tag team division get treated like this, it's like a huge insult to me. You know, I can't even think on how to put it into words right now. You know, it's just unfucking fair, and it's not cool, man. Definitely not cool. That's about the best I can put it as right now, especially since I'm only running on like 1 cup of coffee.
I mean, they give us this match at the pay-per-view. It goes ages or whatever, and Usos don't win. But then you have the same match, okay, not for the titles, the next day, and the Usos win in a couple. I just don't get it. I don't get this booking. I hope it's not Ranjin Singh that's doing this shit. I hope it's not. It's probably Kevin. Listen, this guy, Kevin. Don't even get me started on that waistline. Don't even get me started on Kevin.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't know about anyone else, but I think they should have just stopped them two from. They should have stopped the Usos and the Outlaws from fighting. Just start up promo wars between them. Have them fight different tag teams all the way up until Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, the Outlaws can drop the titles to them, let the Usos get over, and then end the first sequence and fade to black.
What they should have done is just never brought them to TV, left them off, have a tag team tomorrow match at WrestleMania, and have them as a surprise tag team. Just left them off TV and just have them come in as a surprise. That would have been massive, but they fucked it. I don't want to talk any more about this because they're just pissing me off. Segment 9, right? Bray versus Reigns. Now, Shugs, there was a massive thing about this. You know, everyone expected the match to be amazing. We got them in the background, you know, turning up, like facing each other. Bray comes up saying, you know, Reigns, you're an interesting creature. But how do you feel about the match? Because we were kind of exposed to their frailties.
Yeah, I just think that it's one of those things. Although, as good as they both are and as good as they've been, there's still a long way to go. You know, when there's 6 people and you've got like shit happening all over the place, you know, it's easy to be excited and not to see all the little things. Or when you're wrestling like Daniel Bryan, who's like a fucking veteran, and you know, or if you're wrestling John Cena, who knows how to put a match together. But if you think about it, these are 2 guys who haven't been around really that long. You know, although Wyatt like was Husky Harris and like he's been and gone and then come back and done a recharge. Reigns hasn't been wrestling that long at all. So I just think it was 2 inexperienced guys really who are really in an elevated position.
It'll be interesting to see, you know, whether their careers kind of, in terms of their rivalry, kind of goes similar to the way The Rock and Austin did, where right at the beginning of their careers they faced off, then in the middle they had this hot streak, and then right at the end when Austin was going out, you know, if they mirror that kind of thing, that rivalry could be quite good. Like, it could be quite sick. Roxxie, Harper and Rowan come down out of nowhere. Perfect timing. Rollins just does some flying senton on the Wyatts. Like, I just couldn't believe what I saw. I did not expect him to come like from nowhere like that. It was like he was hiding underneath the ring or something. But I wish this guy got more credit though. Like, do you think he carries all the matches like that he's in terms of the match would be pretty much rubbish if he wasn't in it for the show?
Who now, Rollins?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think that, like, going back to what we said earlier, like, Dean Ambrose is, like, the mouthpiece, and then you've got, like, you know, Reigns, who is, like, the dominant force of the Shield, and then you've got Rollins, who's the guy who can actually wrestle. I mean, he's doing a very good job of, like, you know, keeping the Shield, like, rolling over. The only disappointment with Rollins is, I feel, at the moment, is that with Dean's title and the fact that Roman Reigns is getting a push, I feel that Seth Rollins is getting a little bit left out by the WWE, like, creative. They don't seem really to be doing a lot with him. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely the backbone, I feel, of the team. He's a hell of a wrestler. I mean, can't really say more about it. I just wish that they try and get him over as much as they're pushing the other 2, to be fair.
I'm just looking forward to a Cesaro Seth Rollins match, or even when Adrian Neville comes up. Adrian Neville against Seth Rollins, or Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins. Those matches are just going to be too sick when they all come up.
TV gold. This is going to be awesome when they roll around.
All right. Well, let's go into the final segment, which was Lesnar. When I heard this, yes. Lesnar and Taker. Roxxie, Heyman comes out, you know, with Brock, cuts a good promo, and basically says that nothing is bigger than the title.
Yeah.
That this contract basically means nothing. Taker comes out. Do you find it weird, though, that it was built like this?
Yeah, because, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, I was under the impression, I don't know whether I let my mind run away with myself, but I was under the impression that because the Batista and Randy Orton match at main event was going to be so boring, I thought that they would have introduced Brock Lesnar as a triple threat to make it a little bit more interesting. But there was rumours going around all day that Taker was going to be there. And, you know, when Lesnar came out and they were like, yeah, there's nothing bigger than... And then I knew that the Dong was coming. as soon as the Don came in, I just like totally marked out. I was just like, oh my god. And to be fair, apart from Undertaker versus Sting, which I don't think is going to happen, this is going to be the biggest match that Undertaker's wrestled for a while. It's the feud that everybody's wanted to see because of the personal rivalry they got going on as well. It just seems to be it's going to be the match of WrestleMania for me personally.
It
it's
better
what
be the
I
main
want to
event.
watch.
It better be the main event. Obviously, unless Daniel Bryan gets interjected into the triple threat and he wins. But Shugs, I feel like Taker is like I mean, we spoke about this, in the week. I feel like Taker's like the second choice for Lesnar because the way they built it up, it's like, oh, this title match, I get this contract. If I'm not having a title match, I don't want nothing to do. And then Taker comes down. It's almost like Taker's the second choice, but Taker should be the only choice. Like, do you agree?
Well, the thing is, they've already done the part where they've had people, go for the streak. The people are like, oh, I want to have the streak, or I want to the Undertaker. So maybe like this is a different way of booking it, whereas like Brock's out there running his mouth, saying this, saying that, and blah blah blah, and then he gets Taker, and he's sort of like bitten off more than he can chew. I think that's the way they're going with it, rather than saying it's not a bigger match as it could be.
Yeah, I just
he's going out there and saying, if I'm not having a title match, I'm not wrestling, I'm not having anything. I should be the number one contender. I should be this. I've got this open contract, and then all of a sudden, like the Undertaker comes out and he's got. He's like, he's bitten off more than he can chew, really.
I just feel like I want to hear Heyman say, Lesnar has nothing else. If he doesn't get, if he can't fight for the title, he has nothing else he has to prove. This is his yard now. And then you hear the gong. You know what I mean? Like, just something to connect him to Taker, But hey ho, Taker comes out, stares at the sign, stares at Lesnar, stares at the contract. Lesnar says, sign it. Here you go. Here's the pen. Tim, Taker stabs this motherfucker with a pen, dude.
Yeah, and I can just vouch from firsthand experience. I had a crazy ex who stabbed me with a pen before, and the way Lesnar sold that.
Hold on.
It was back when I was in college. Back when I was in college, I went over to her house. We got into a fight over something stupid. Next thing you know, she grabbed a pen and stabbed me with it. Oh, and it was, and I could just vouch from first-hand experience the way Lesnar sold that. If you've never been stabbed with a pen, you would look at that and say, he no-sold it. Because to the untrained eye, you would just say, oh my God, that was amazing. No, trust me, I've been stabbed with a pen. He no-sold that.
Listen, I tuned out when you said you got stabbed by a girl with a pen, brother. What the hell? What the... Listen, I'm glad I school.
Hey, I was digging crazy chicks long before Phil Brooks ever did.
Oh, good. All right, people. That's the end of Raw. So can I get your Raw rating, please, Shugs?
Well, I suppose we had Hogan, we had Taker. 7, I'm going to give it. No, 6.5. No, we weren't that good. 6.5.
Okay. Tim?
I give it a 7.
Okay. Roxxie?
I'm going to give it a 6, purely because, I thought that, I missed quite a bit of it, so I can't really give, a proper rating. But, yeah, I'd probably give it a 6 based on what I saw.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so we're just going to go into the Raw feedback. Shugs, I will start off. Right, so we have Brendan's Banters. Sorry, last week, guys, I forgot to look in the folder, so I didn't read out Brendan's Banters. But this week, I've got it. So here we go. Hogan walked onto the stage. He forgot to bring his manager with him, Uncle Zebekiah. Batista versus Alberto Del Rio. After 7 minutes of this match, Batista looked more fucked than Cameron, and that is hard. Big E versus Cesaro in a non-title match. There is more. What's the destination in the real? What the hell's that?
Dissension. Yeah,
there is more dissension in the real Americans than the U.S. government. Laugh out loud. Sheamus versus Christian. Maybe the wrong person is heel. Daniel Bryan versus Kane. WWE suggests you get a refund from Dr. Shelby. Emma versus Summer Rae. At least the Right to was fighting this week. New Age Outlaws versus the Usos. Road Dogg. Oh, you didn't know the bell rung twice in your case. Reigns versus Wyatt. Will the show deliver justice to Wyatt? Undertaker return. Seemed very weak, and he didn't even speak. 7 out of 10.
Okay, so our head of fan relations, James Powers. Hogan walked onto the stage. The crowd didn't exactly pop for the WWE Network talk. The over-the-top network, I think it was more over-the-top promotion. We've all been surprised by how little they hyped the WWE Network before tonight. That won't be an issue going forward. The first 10 minutes of the show were any indication. Batista Del Rio. After the match, Orton mockingly apologized for distracting him and said it was also funny that the fans don't like him very much. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt if you're even sorry that you came back, Orton said to Batista. And then you got the CM Punk shout. Batista told Orton he couldn't be more wrong, and then everyone needs to get something through their head. I love this business. No, he loves paychecks. Batista said he's going to beat somebody he used to call his friends, turned into a he can't believe somebody used to call his friend turned into a whiny, snivelling, kiss ass, suck up. I guess he's right about that. It was interesting to hear the announcers, and then Orton acknowledged the fans booing it. Big E versus Cesaro, nice strong back and forth match, good ending to keep this feud going between the Real Americans and Big E. John Cena made his entrance to sell another reign of pain and injury. Sheamus Christian, the finish was great and got a big reaction, but the fans were quiet for the bulk of the match. Hopefully they're still telling the story that Christian is going to be a fully fledged heel. It looks like Hunter and Bryan still on for WrestleMania 30. Bryan Kane, good solid match WWE have been building to. Next step will be Triple H, even none of the fans want to see it. I don't know what story WWE are going with, but I wish they would hurry up and decide, because it's painful to see a great wrestler and a good worker such as Emma being put in this position. The Old Age Outlaws against the Usos. Good match to put the Usos in with the title shot. And just a quick side note for all the Outlaws fans who was moaning, the bell rung and the match had started. Reigns against Wyatt, absolutely brilliant match. These two are big futures in the company, but the ending says this ain't over. Backstage, Heyman told Lesnar that the key is to act like gentlemen. He asked Lesnar not to tear anything or anybody up. Lesnar smiled and walked calmly. A good show, a closing angle to tie up the loose ends of Lesnar claiming to be number one, coming into the Royal Rumble. I've ranted about this before, and I'm going to rant again. How many times in one segment is Heyman going to say, Brock Lesnar? And he gives it 7 out of 10.
Okay, we have an email from Joshua Smith, who will be on the show in a couple of weeks. Hogan promo, clearly he got confused but tried to recover. Batista and Orton promo, probably best way to make their Mania match get hyped. I turn Orton face and boo Batista heel. Just so confused if Cena's injury is a work or not. Crowd was shit for Daniel Bryan and Kane match. Was like they forgot what they wanted. Enjoyed the Bryan's promo this week. Was there any point to the Usos versus Old Age Outlaws? Crap crowd made Reigns and Wyatt smack shit. Glad Taker returned the way he did, stole the show. Cesaro's match with Sami Zayn on NXT was awesome, unrelated, but wanted to mention it. Shout out to the to one of you guys, Steve Dawson at Top Rope Elbow, for helping me get the network. Shucks.
Okay, so the M Cook, he actually posted this in the wrong place, and I think James Howard moved it, but I'm going to read it anyway. Hulk Hogan returns. Great to see him back. Don't know why he does the hand to ear thing at the entrance ramp, because a huge Titantron. He gets no cheers from there. It was just a network promo. Batista versus Del Rio, the long-awaited rematch from the Elimination Chamber. Batista is getting booed, and the commentary team are not ignoring it now. Orton comes out and distracts Batista, who gets pinned by Del Rio. Batista starts spitting all over the microphone and says he will cheer back when they cheer and boo when they boo. I guess he's going to be booing a lot. Big E Cesaro, good match, and a Real American split storyline has started. Good promo by the Wyatts and attack on Cena. I think Wyatts would have hit Sister Abigail on Cena, but he seemed to have buggered his leg up. Sheamus Christian, good match. Christian nearly had his head kicked off by Sheamus. I thought it was disgusting of JBL to do a cancer joke when Jake has just been diagnosed. Dickhead. Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Kane comes out dressed in his Wailer Mercy hashtag Hunico gear, and as a good match for Bryan. After the match, Daniel Bryan tells the Authority to listen, and the fans give him a match against Triple H. The fans' reaction should have been yes. Even Bryan doesn't know what the fans want. Emma Summer Rae, good to see Emma in a match, and also fuck you Santino. Go away now. Go back to Italy, Canada, or wherever the hell you're from. Piss off, you tit. Usos against the New Age Outlaws. Stupid idea having the Usos interrupting the Outlaws' only face moment. Usos wouldn't have been booed if the crowd were able to do the interaction bit with the Outlaws. Reigns against Wyatt. Fuck the crowd for chanting JBL and Jerry Lawler. The match wasn't that bad and ended the same way the Big E Cesaro did. They have repeated cutscenes like WWE 2K14, I think. Brock Lesnar against Undertaker. Undertaker's back. He has a Ministry of Darkness beard. Brock sold shit in his pants perfectly during the Undertaker's entrance and was put through the table by the Undertaker. Good show. That would have been fantastic without commentary. I'm going to flip out if they mention that bloody WWE Network one more time. Rating 6.5.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Wei Ting looks like he's about to blow a gasket on the Law Radio. Jeez. Alright, that's all the feedback. So we're going to have a break now, so grab your juice, do what you got to do. And we're going to be back with Smackdown in 60 seconds, Sugs Stunners, the WWE Network review, and In the Words Of, so don't you miss it.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kinny Killa and the Galdem Sugar Sugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is I, Kinny Killa, and I'm here with the Galdem Sugar Sugs, Tim Vicious, and Roxxie. So, we're going to go to Smackdown in 60 seconds, so roll with it, Sugs.
Okay, so Real Americans versus Henry and Big E. This match is just to show off Cesaro, who gets to hit the neutralizer on Mark Henry, showing his strength, and Swagger is sort of like looking at him like he's jealous. We get the Batista, comes out in a flat cap and sunglasses and Kane spare vest. He says, I love this business, came back to be a champion, not to be liked. It's a decent promo, and then he starts ripping on everyone, saying, do you think your heroes are as good as me? So he's turning heel, and so is Orton. So there's two heels in the main event at WrestleMania so far. So obviously they're going to introduce a face somehow. Sheamus against Del Rio. Christian is on commentary, interferes in the match, hits a kill switch on Sheamus. Then we get Batista against Ziggler. So Ziggler gets some good offense, even it's like the zigzag, but Batista gets out, hits a Batista bomb and gets the win. Get a Wyatt promo, and Shield comes out, but Triple H tells him to stand down, says he's not wasting all the money he's put into them, so they're going to fight on Raw. And then we get Bryan and the Usos against the New Age Outlaws and Kane. Back and forth match. Get a Famouser on Bryan, but he taps out at, kicks out at 2, and the crowd go fucking nuts. Then he hits the knee that won the world title on Billy Gunn to get the win, and Usos and Bryan go over. Fade to black.
Fade to black. Alright people, it's time for Sugs Stunners.
Sugs Stunners. So, jobber of the week. Well, I guess we're going to have to say Batista. That's what I'm going to say. Job of the week. Because he jobbed out on Raw, got pinned, got rolled up by fucking Del Rio. So he must be shit if you're getting rolled up by Del Rio. So, yeah, fuck Batista. Move of the week. I just think anything that Seth Rollins did on TV, when he went over the top rope and just fucking sat on Luke Harper's face, that was great. And rest of the week, I can't just be giving everything to Rollins, so I'm going to say Cesaro again.
Yeah, my man Cesaro, 2 weeks in a row. God damn it. All right, there's no general feedback this week, so we're just going to have a brief discussion about the WWE Network. Obviously, Tim Vicious is from America, so he has access to it, but it seems like not only does America, but the whole world has access to this thing. So, Tim, just, talk a bit about, have you got it?
Yeah, I got it. I signed up for it on Monday morning. I know everyone was complaining that day saying, oh, I can't get on, this, that, and the other. I didn't have any of those problems, but I also thought ahead and signed in and logged on to sign up for it like 20 minutes before it was supposed to go live, and I got it on my phone like 5 minutes before 9 o'clock that morning. And then I got it on my computer like at 9 o'clock, right on the dot. And honestly, I've been glued to it since. I've been watching, like, the Legends of Wrestling shows and mostly ECW. I watched WrestleMania where Benoit won the world title once, and I was surprised because everyone was saying that they're supposed to show these disclaimers about any pay-per-view or match, any pay-per-views that have Chris Benoit in it. I haven't seen one yet.
Okay.
Other than that, the only thing that I was kind of tweaked on was the WCW pay-per-view Sin. They edited the part where Sid broke his leg.
Okay.
Yeah, they edited out the part where Sid broke his leg.
Yeah,
I was just like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, obviously I'm not saying I wanted to see it, but I was just mad at the fact that they edited that. You know, they don't have a problem showing anything from like the Attitude Era with people holding up signs saying pussy, F you McMahon, or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not gonna show somebody that got a legitimate injury.
Shugs, I know you wanted to speak a bit about the network.
I was just like interested that, you know, lots of people seem to be doing it and just the lengths that people go to get it, you know. People were like on it straight away from, you know, Monday morning. And they, you know, signing up to like different things, you know, VPNs, changing their DNS settings, just doing everything, just to get it, just to get a little piece, you know. So I think it was interesting, and you know, people have been predicting that they're going to get more from the interest they had on Monday. I think they reckon they got over 200,000 people sign up on Monday morning, and I think there'll just be more as the weeks go on, really.
Yeah, I think a lot more people, especially those younger than us, will probably try and get it because they didn't get to see all the stuff that we did growing up. I mean, Roxxie, what do you think about the network?
Well, personally, I mean, I was actually in America on Monday because I didn't fly back until Monday night. So my fiance's got the network, and we like signed in about 8:45 in the morning before it went live. The login didn't seem to be a problem. Took his card details that you have to like reserve in order to get the week's free trial. And then, to be honest, it was just downhill from there. 9 o'clock it went live. Just so you guys know, if you're not aware, you can't actually watch anything on Google Chrome. You've got to default back to Internet Explorer, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, who the fuck uses Internet Explorer nowadays? Do you know what I mean? And then I
don't want to interrupt you, Rox, but I just want to let you know, if he's got Firefox, that works a hell of a lot better than Explorer.
You know, we tried
I think using Firefox.
And it just wouldn't work. I didn't know it worked on Firefox. But it was just it was just one botch after another. I mean, it seemed to work on the iPhone, but who wants to watch, you know, a 3-hour pay-per-view on a bloody, you know, something that's the same size as a fucking, you know, condom? Like, it was just like, what the hell? And then there was the whole Xbox problem. We tried to log in on the Xbox, can't do it. Wouldn't allow you to do it. It was just one thing after another. I think at some point on Twitter I hashtag what I'm watching on WWE Network right now, and then I posted a picture of fuck all. It was just like, I can't get anything to work. And then the worst thing was is he gave me his login details because I seemed to get it up on the iPad out there. When I came back to the UK, he gave me his login details. They've geo-mapped the fucker, so now I can't watch it anymore. So now I've got to actually watch the network on my iPad while I'm FaceTiming him, and he's got to sit there with his fucking phone up against his computer so I can see anything.
Oh my god.
Absolutely farcical. It's ridiculous. The length you go to watch WWE, eh?
I know. Well, some of the seg heads, they've managed to find ways and stuff, you know, doing it through PayPal, downloading this plugin for Google Chrome called Holler, and yeah, just kind of just doing it like that, really. Changing, you can get like different addresses and stuff and put a different address into WWE.com and then do it that way. But to be honest, for me, I don't sit there and watch, sit there and troll through, looking through YouTube for hours and hours of old stuff, that I haven't seen already. I've seen so much stuff. I had all of the things. I don't really need to go back and see again. I don't do it now. I don't have the time to do it now, and I definitely won't have the time to do it when my new baby comes. So I'm not gonna get it. I just think it's more geared towards people that haven't had the chance to see all that stuff. Obviously, we've got new content, but I've found ways to watch all that content already.
YouTube.
So obviously you can't watch it on YouTube because WWE have taken it all down. But there's websites that I watch all my pay-per-views on now anyway because I don't pay for shit. That I watch it that are giving the network exclusives anyway. I've already seen the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart one. I've already seen all the countdown stuff. I don't really need to see all the old stuff because I've seen it already. So. But it's each to their own. So we'll just see what's going to happen in the future for the WWE Network. They forecast they're going to have, like Shug said, more and more people signing up to it. And let's just hope that, Roxxie doesn't have more problems with it as time goes on. But don't worry, Roxxie, man, we'll hook you up, girl. We'll make sure someone, make sure someone hollers at you with the stuff, yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the show, people, and it's been a pleasure. Tim, if I get up at 6 a.m. just to talk to us, so I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time, to speak with us and come on the show and stuff. Your show, Vicious Ranter, is amazing. Please just plug your stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Tim Vicious. I got a backup one because I get put in Twitter jail every now and again. This is actually the longest I have not been in Twitter jail, so I think I get like a gold star or something for that. Other than that, I do my show, Vicious Rants. I go on there. I'll talk about Raw, pay-per-views. I'll wind up going off track constantly because I got a really bad case of ADD, and I'll wind up talking about like other stuff on how a wrestler should work, how promos should go, all kinds of random different shit. And I hold nothing back, And I always say at the end, you love me, great. You hate me, fuck you. That's been my motto for life since I was like 13.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man. You're on again, March 30th with King Ollie and Vicky Earls. So yeah.
Definitely can't wait.
And obviously, I got to say thanks. It's first time debut for Roxxie. Thanks for coming on. This will not be the only time, and I will definitely be DMing you this week with more dates for you to be on. Holla at your boy and let him know that he is more than welcome to come on too anytime. So yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just want to say quickly as well that I do something very similar to Tim, except Tim does a better job of executing it than me. You can check out my YouTube show. I'm on every other Tuesday. Just type in hashtag Roxxie Room into the YouTube bar. You'll find me. Also follow the official Roxxie's Room on Twitter, which is at Roxxie's Room, and just give me a follow at that Roxxie Girl. I follow all WWE fans back as long as you're not creepy. So.
Well, I don't know. You follow me.
Well, the first time for everything, love.
Oh, true. True.
That's what
I also just want to note, Theo Rox, actually, it was because of you doing Roxy's room. That's what gave me the kick in the. That's what gave me the kick in the ass to go and do my rants.
Thanks, Steve.
You know, just want to give you that credit. So you're the one that actually inspired me to do my shit.
Oh, look at
thanks,
that.
Steve.
There's love going around in the Segway. That's what I'm talking about. The Segway brings people together. Yes, right.
Yeah, who needs Dr. Shelby when we got this show, right?
I know, right?
This cannot happen without the gal them sugar shooks.
A pleasure as always, you know, just be chilling there, watching the football, have a nice, relaxing day, eat my chicken, job done.
Job done. All right, so in the words of this week is by Randy Savage, a promo leading up to his WrestleMania 5 match against Hulk Hogan. So, in the words of Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, yeah, you say you love me like a brother, yeah. But that's a lie, Hulk Hogan, and that's enough to get me hot. But what you said to us, Elizabeth, is enough to get me to the boiling point, yeah. Hulk Hogan, you say you love Elizabeth, but I got news for you, man, yeah. I got news for you. Elizabeth is gonna be in the corner of the Macho Man, yeah, at WrestleMania 5, brother. And let me tell you something, I hate you. I hate your guts. You say you love me like a brother, like I just said. I hate your guts. And that's what's gonna be left all over the mat at WrestleMania 5. Ooh, yeah! And you can choke on that slap. Let's woo!